this is the electric G class. It was going to be called the EQG, but because Mercedes is now merging the ranges, especially when the car is almost identical to the combustion engine car, this one is called the electric G. Electric G or electric G Wagon, as they say in German.
So what's it got under the hood?
Well, 587 horsepower and 1164 Newton meters of torque. And that comes from 4 electric motors. It's Mercedes' first 4 e-motor vehicle. And with that kind of power and torque and the traction you get from this metallic grid, that's a slope. It can go up and come down in a controlled manner. Pretty unbelievable. Look at that angle.
And it even gets a low-range gearbox, something EVs don't need. The new electric G is so good off-road, insiders say it's even better than the combustion engine or ICE G. We asked Chief Technical Officer of Mercedes, Markus Schäfer, if this were true.
Well, both are fun off-road, and I've tested them in the Austrian Alps. Right, this one is even more capable because we can do more, as we mentioned, G-turn, G-steering, G-crawling, and the dock, and that's exactly what software can do, and individually controlling the 4 wheels. And that's something even the combustion car cannot do.
So what are these special features? Well, G-turn means the wheels on the left pull forward and the wheels on the right pull back. And this turns the G-Wagon around its center point like a tracked vehicle or a tank. Here's Markus again.
Yes, the car has 4 different electric motors, close to each wheel.
Right.
And they individually can be controlled by software.
Okay.
So you can do almost anything with this car in terms of maneuvering.
In the G steering mode, the car locks its inside rear wheel so that when you're off-road, it can pivot around that inside wheel and turn tighter. There's even a low range, something EVs don't normally need. From the outside, it's easy to recognize this as a G-Wagon.
Now, when it comes to design, of course, it's a G-Wagon with these big lights here, the squarish headlight, the V-shaped bonnet. But on this version, it gets a nice runaround. There's no real grille, it's a faux grille, and that tells you it's an electric.
What's fascinating is that some aero enhancements like the vent on the rear fender and other aero tweaks reduce the drag coefficient from a brick-like 0.48 CD to a much improved 0.44. Even the battery is very different.
Now, because this is a ladder frame, the battery has to be smaller. But in this case, it's a 116 kilowatt hour battery, a really large one. So what Mercedes has done is put it in 2 layers. They sandwiched it, and to give it the perfect amount of cooling, there's 3 layers of cooling between those 2 layers of battery. Now, 473 kilometers is the claim range, but you get 4 motors giving you regen. The interesting part of the equation is that the curb weight is above 3 tons. That's quite a step up into the cabin, and that's where this running board comes in use. But typically solid construction, and on the inside, it's of course a G-Wagon. Massive screen right here. These 3 buttons now used for the new features this electric version has. These buttons not used for the locking diff, but used for the G steering and the G turn. There's a low range here as well, in case you need even more torque than 1100 Nm.
The G will come to India at a price of around 3.3 crore and will provide a unique off-roading experience. Question is, at this price, just how many will take it off-road to experience this extraordinary luxury off-roader?